Email is by far the #1 sales strategy. No kidding. You will fail if you don't embrace email marketing. And throughout the last 20 years of trial and error, I have built lists myself with a combined size of over 4 million subscribers across my different businesses. And we have generated over $100 million in revenue using those mailing lists. But a big question I always get asked is, what would I do if I had to start over from scratch? What if I didn't have my 4 million subscribers? What if I didn't have all of the connections and contacts and websites and products, and I had to literally hit the reset button and start from zero? I would start with email. And I would like to show you step by step of exactly how I would get my first 100 subscribers, and then how I would turn that tiny list into an 8-figure business. And in this video, I will walk you through how I build the email list from scratch if I had to start over completely. Now, not only will I do this video training, so you're gonna wanna watch this video to the end with all of the steps, but I also have a deck that I can share with you. So I will give it to you for free, the deck that will go step by step on exactly how to use this strategy. All you have to do is subscribe to our free newsletter to get the deck, and it's going to go in writing step by step. It will show you everything I put in this video today. And just subscribe. All you're going to do is head over to pushbutton.ai/subscribe. And I'll pop the link down in the description below so you can easily click it. But go to pushbutton.ai/subscribe, and I will give you all of the deck, all of the notes from this video, and all of the action items that you need to take. Now, I use this exact strategy already over and over again to go into new markets where I have no relationships, no lists, no products, no website, enter a new market and build it into a multi-million-dollar business. I've done this in markets where people usually think that only the gurus could succeed. I come in from scratch with no experience in the market and break in. So let's get into it. So this is the deck. I will be sharing all of this with you when you subscribe. It's totally free. Just subscribe to our newsletter and you will get all of these slides. And as an example, some of these are pretty, like this one here is pretty revolutionary. What I'm going to cover in this one is very unique. This one too, actually. So there's several strategies that I'm going to teach you today. This one right here and this one right here are very unique, and I don't think anyone else is really teaching these. So watch through to the end. Let's get started. Now, as I said, email is by far the #1 sales strategy. Okay? And in today's world, the truth is, sure, you might break into and start up a business not using email, but if you don't embrace it and you don't use email to the fullest, your business is limited. You will not make as much money, and you have potential to completely lose your business. When you have an email list, it is like an insurance policy that your business will continue to thrive even in times of hardship, difficulty. Let's say you have trouble with your ads that stop working, things like that. By having an email list, it's your insurance policy that you can keep going even through times of adversity. In the make money kind of entrepreneurship, internet marketing community, I have a mailing list of about 500,000 people, but I have built lists over the years in a lot of different markets and have generated over 4 million subscribers across all those different markets. But again, today I'm going to show you what I would do if I had to start over. Now, before we get into that content, I want to really clear this up. This is very important because I think people, when they hear email marketing and they hear that of using email, they don't quite understand what I mean, and they have some preconceived ideas that get in their way. So let me just cover a couple quick myths about email. First up, most people will start and fail because they buy into these myths. Number one, you need a big list to make money. Okay? So you hear me bragging here about my mailing list, right? I have lists of a pretty good size. I've had a lot of success building large mailing lists. And so I think that often lets people come to the conclusion that you need a big list in order to make money. Now, as an example, there's a case study here I want to show you from John Meese. He built a small list just 249 subscribers. He did that over the course of 45 days. And he sold a course to them and brought in almost $11,000. So let's take a look at that. So this is courtesy of videofruit.com, did this case study, and they're walking through the strategy. Again, this link and all the resources I'll share with everybody who subscribes to our free newsletter. So you get all these links and our notes and the action items, but he goes into the list building system and method that he used. But the cool thing about it is the end result. As we talked about here, was almost $11,000 in sales in 45 days with a tiny little list. So you do not need to have a big list to succeed. And I've got one other strategy I'm going to show you at the end that goes into this. It's another person who had a 500 person mailing list, and there's something really cool that they did to make a fortune. So with a little tiny list. So we'll get into that in a minute. Email myth number 2. You've got to be some kind of an expert or a guru in order to be successful with email. Nothing could be further from the truth. You could be someone who knows nothing about your niche market. You could come in from a point of curiosity, of learning about that niche, learning about that market, and you share the journey. You share the stories and the journeys and the things you learn and the lessons that you encounter that add value to you. You just share that with your mailing list. That works fantastically. Another strategy, you could also come in and be what's called a curator, where all you do is collect up the useful information and share it with your audience. You know, I think this goes back a ways now when Oprah first built her empire. She started out, she was just a local news anchor, not any very particularly successful. She started a talk show, and what she was able to do is bring some really smart and interesting people to her audience.
Does everybody get that? Did everybody just get?
She was not the guru. She was the gateway. She would bring the gurus to her audience, and they would then get to learn from those people. And Oprah built a multi-billion-dollar empire on just that simple concept. And you can do that too with your email list. Now, one thing that is really important, it's just an early step, that if I were starting over, if I was starting from scratch, I would want to make sure that I was in the right niche market or niche. Then you go niche, whichever the correct pronunciation is. And I do that with something called Ikigai. And Ikigai is a strategy from Japan. It goes back at least 1,000 years. It's a strategy is used to kind of pick the perfect thing so that you can be fulfilled while making lots of money. And Ikigai is really simple. It breaks down into 4 questions that you ask yourself. And you'll want to do this first before you jump into a market you're not so sure you should be in. Now, I have a video on this. There's a video training on the channel where I go in great detail exactly how to use Ikigai to pick your niche market. I'll drop the link down in the description below so you can go watch that training. Basically, the quick answer to this is you ask yourself 4 questions. What do you love to do? Or what do you like? And this could be what you like, what you love, what you enjoy learning about, what you're curious about. Then, what are you good at? This could be things that are unexpected to you. They could be things that people compliment you for, maybe because whether you fix stuff and someone gives you compliments about it, or artwork that you put together and you get compliments for it. So you want to list that. You also want to figure out what does the world need? And there's some very specific steps to find out what the world needs. And there are some tools you can use to find that. And I cover that in the video. Again, the video is down below. It's in detail about how to use Ikigai to pick your right niche market. And then 4, what can you get paid for, right? And this one, again, there are some tools that you can use to find that out. I cover that in the video. It is by blending these 4 things together is how you come up with the perfect niche market. Because often I see people that will jump in head first into a market that they love. There's some topic, some obscure thing, something that's interesting to them that they love, and then they try to start a business around it, and it fails. Well, that's because it's not something that the world needs, or it's something that the world's not willing to pay for. And then I've seen the opposite mistake, where they hear from some guru or some expert, I'll use air quotes, expert, who tells them, oh, Crypto, that's the hot market. You need to go into crypto. And you go in and you start a whole business about cryptocurrency, but it's the wrong business for you because you could care less about it. And eventually it will fail. And it's when you blend all four of these things together, that's how you win. So once I have chosen the niche market I'm going to go into, I do something called 10PGB. You might be wondering, what the heck is that? So this is something that, again, I also teach quite a lot about this on the channel, but the simplicity is we're looking for the 10 biggest, most impactful, and most emotionally compelling problems, goals, and the benefits that someone's looking for in my niche market. Let me give you a simple example. I talk about the dog training niche a lot because I think it's a simple and easy one to understand. So what you might want to do is find out, what are the biggest problems people have in relationship to their dogs? What are the biggest goals they have in relationship to their dogs? Like, do they want a dog that goes on walks? Do they want a dog who's obedient? Do they want a dog who is a good family member? Those are examples of goals. And then finally, the benefits, the end benefits of what they're looking for. An example might be a peaceful household or, a harmonious household with a good relationship with your pet. That would be a benefit. So I identify the 10 biggest problems that my market is experiencing, the goals that they want to achieve, and the end benefits that they're looking for. Okay? And I make this into a list. Okay? And I did a complete masterclass on exactly how you can do this, and you can do it using AI, which makes it really, really simple. Another one, it's a training on the channel. I'll link down below so you can catch that training. It's a masterclass on exactly how you do this. But you absolutely must know this when you're jumping into a new market. If you jump in without, you just have some funny preconceived idea of what your product should be or what you think that the people need, then you're going to fail. You need to know what are their problems? What are their goals? What are the benefits, the end results that they are looking for in your market? When you know that, then you can succeed. Catch the training if you want more details about that. There's a link down below. It's a free training on the channel, but you'll need to have that list of those 10 problems, goals, and benefits. Step 3, create what's called a lead magnet. It's the bait that you would use to get someone to give you their email address. And you're going to create a very simple website, and there are lots of tools, including my very own PushButton AI can do this for you. We can build your whole website and create your lead magnet for you. But you'll want a lead magnet, and you could use a lot of different tools, whether it's ClickFunnels or Groove or WordPress or whatever tools you use. You'll want to create a simple lead magnet with a one page that they can subscribe to your list from. Okay. Now, if I were starting over, what I would do as a lead magnet is a course. I would give away a course that you can provide access to, give them some free training, and that would be my preferred number one, most recommended lead magnet. And that's actually something that can easily be done with AI here. And that's another video lesson on the channel. I know that guy. He did some great training here about how you create the perfect lead magnet. I'll link to that in the description below as well. Now, I like courses to give away for free to get leads because this allows you to build rapport with your audience. They become familiar with you. They begin to like you. They begin to see that you have some credibility, and you begin to build this with subscribers in a very unique way that most other lead magnets just can't do. But the best way to build a strong relationship with new leads on your list. Because let's face it, there are a lot of throwaway lead magnets that just you download them. And I know there are ones that I've gotten that sounded exciting, and then I never even opened them. I signed up, grabbed them, never opened them, and then I forgot who sent them to me or where they came from. But when you do a course, the person not only joins your list to get that course, but they're going to engage with the course. They're going to remember you, and they're going to be great subscribers for you to make money from into the future. Make sense? Step 4, we're going to create a bunch of content. This is like articles, blog posts, other things like that. And we want to find and create lots of content that is going to help your new subscribers and your audience, right? Your whole broad audience in your niche market. You want to help them. Remember that 10 PGB step? That's what we're going to write content on. And you can use AI to do this, by the way. So AI can be incredibly helpful to build these pieces of content. And all we're going to do is we're going to create, it could be whether you do infographics, whether you do blog posts that you post on your blog. Maybe you could even do just a whole post on Twitter with the information, posting on Facebook. You can make videos if the video is something that you're comfortable with, but you want to put out lots of content and get it out there. And it must be designed to help them with the 10 biggest problems, goals, and the benefits that they're looking for in your market. It's got to absolutely be that. So we're going to find a growth channel, a channel that you can distribute content. So you're going to first be writing blog posts. That's probably the best way to get started, is to create blog posts, put them in your website. If you have WordPress, it makes it really, really easy. Also, this is something that my PushButton AI software does automatically for you. It can automatically do all of your blogging and do these steps that I'm talking about now. But what I would do is I would first start with one channel. I prefer to start with my blog posts because blogs can be shared. You just take the link and you can share it on Facebook, you can share it on Twitter. You can share it all over the place. I would start getting really good on that one thing. So I would make my blogs, I would share them everywhere, and then I would start to focus on one single channel. Like, you have to focus on the channel that is good for you. And if you're comfortable with Facebook and you're having some wins with Facebook, then I would focus on growing your Facebook audience, right? And building more Facebook fans of your business page on Facebook. If you're someone who's comfortable on video like I am, I would recommend doing a video, using video as your primary channel. And that could be long form content on YouTube like I'm doing now. LinkedIn can be a great place for if it's business oriented video content. If it's more mass market friendly, I would do short form content, and you could do that. Of course, TikTok is the giant for short form content, but also YouTube has short form video. Twitter has short form video. I would find that one type of content that you really want to focus on and prioritize growing that one channel. Step 6, amplify your content. This is something that nobody is doing, and let me tell you, it makes a huge difference, okay? I've got video training again on the channel that goes step by step on exactly how you do this. But what you'll want to do is just spend a tiny little bit of money. It can be as little as a couple of dollars a day. And you want to put ads promoting your content. Let me give you an example. My favorite way to do this is to just take my link, share it on Facebook as a blog post, and run an ad on that share, on that post on Facebook. I spend a little money to promote it and kickstart it to try to get it to go, to get a little bit of viral organic growth. Or you can do the same thing on Twitter. You can take your URL, drop it in a share on Twitter, and pop an engagement ad on that post. And that helps to kickstart and get going and help you with your audience growth. And you can do it with it can be very inexpensive, with just a tiny little spend can be very helpful here, because we're starting from nothing. So if we're starting from nothing, we have no fans, no followers. This is also going to help kickstart that process. The strategies that I've just shared with you, the steps we just went over, this is exactly how I have broken into niche markets. As an example, when I started, this was almost 12 years ago at the time of recording this, when I first got started in the internet marketing niche market. I was not a known name. I did not have a mailing list, and I created a blog and I followed these steps. It's exactly what I did. And that's not the only niche market. So then I went on from that. I got established, almost a dozen years ago, maybe even a little more now. I did this exact process, and that's exactly how I got my first 5,000 subscribers. I then leveraged those 5,000 subscribers to build relationships. And I was able to make relationships with other people in the niche, and we started to promote each other, cross-promoting one another, because now I had a little bit of clout. I had a 5,000 person list that I built for free, cost me nothing. Now I use my list to then leverage to grow to the next level. And then from there, I now have over 500,000 subscribers in this niche market. So with over 500,000 subscribers in the niche market, I can basically out of thin air like that, create a new business and turn it into a multi-million-dollar business just using that mailing list. I've done it multiple times. A list is valuable, and this is how you do it. couple of other things I want to cover, and that is how long do you have to wait before you actually start making money? You know, you just heard me talk about, I built my first 5,000 subscribers for free. Does that mean you have to wait till you have 5,000 subscribers before you make money? Absolutely not. So you saw at the beginning, somebody who had just about 250 subscribers made 11 grand with those 250 subscribers. Here is another case study of somebody who built up a list about double that size. This is 500 subscribers, and just with a tiny 500 person list, they were able to launch a product and sell it $22,000 worth of sales. Let's take a look at that. So this is courtesy of First Class Founders, where they published this case study, and it's called The Art of Storytelling. And so how he went from broke to a 22,000 course launch and using a 500 person mailing list. So, and this walks through his success in doing that, how he did it. Again, I'll give you the show notes, all the links, all the details of this when you subscribe to our free newsletter. Yeah, just go to pushbutton.ai/subscribe, and in there you'll have access to all of our show notes, the slide deck that I showed here, and more. All right, and then you can see here on this quote from him, I wanted to monetize and I didn't know exactly what to do. So I was like, I'm just gonna launch a product, just Hail Mary and see what happens. And it was funny. I only had like 500 newsletter subscribers, and it was like, talk to friends, and they were like, that's not a lot of subscribers. Don't expect a lot of money, don't expect 5 figures or anything like that. Even he had the same misconception. He thought, even though his list was tiny, that it was not gonna be worth trying to make money. And that's just not true. And you can make money with the right strategy and the right product and the right niche. With just a few hundred subscribers, you've seen 2 people who have proven you can start from nothing and make 5 figures from just a tiny little mailing list. And so these steps are the exact steps that I would take to build a brand new business using email. And I highly recommend that you rewatch this video. There's other trainings that I've been mentioning of how to do some of the steps that I covered. Again, I'll put all that in the description down below. And if you want the notes from this video, you want the deck and all the information, just subscribe to the free newsletter. It's absolutely free. You can find that at pushbutton.ai/subscribe. And talking about subscribe, the other thing you'll want to do is, if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, look down below. You'll see a red subscribe button. Give it a click, because we release content like this all the time. And I would love to see you in one of my next videos. And I'm always doing live hangouts. So if you'd like to hang out live with me and ask me questions about how to implement these strategies, we can certainly do that. But the other thing I would ask you to do is like this video if you got value, and drop a comment down below. The YouTube algorithm loves comments, and I will be answering all your questions. So if you have any questions about email marketing, questions about how to execute this strategy, or how it applies to you and your unique situation, ask those questions in the chat down below, or just give me a big old howdy. Give me a howdy in the chat below for the YouTube algorithm. And on that, we're gonna wrap up today's video. I really appreciate for you hanging out with me to this point, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. So for those of you who are not yet a PushButton AI customer, then you need to check this out. And all you need to do is go to pushbutton.ai/demo, pushbutton.ai/demo, and you can get a live one-on-one appointment to get on Zoom and see this powerful technology in action. And with PushButton AI, it will build an entire business from bottom to top. Everything you need, from your domain name to your logo to videos to audio lessons, an entire course that you can sell as your own, a 30-day email sequence that it writes. You can send a daily email for 30 days, all written by AI, and a whole lot more. It writes your sales page. If you're not sure how to write an expert sales page to convince people to buy stuff, it writes it for you. It writes a free report that you can give away to get subscribers to your list. It even creates and writes the opt-in subscription page to get people to subscribe to get the free report. And it goes on and on and on. It even writes your first 10 blog posts for you, and it can do so much more. Social media posts, ads, all of these things are done, and all you have to do is answer a couple of questions and push a button. Now, PushButton AI is not available to the public at the time of recording this video. And the only way to get in is by invite to our behind-the-scenes beta access. And during your live demo, we'll show you the technology. We'll actually work with you to actually map out an entire course that you could sell as your own. We'll outline the course with you together on the one-on-one Zoom call. And then if you so decide, if you're a good fit, you can come in, join our PushButton AI beta program, and be in business with that very course by the next day. Go to pushbutton.ai/demo to figure out if this powerful technology is right for you. You can register there. You'll book an appointment in the calendar. Be sure you show up. Our team will be very excited to meet you and show you how the tech works, outline your new course for you, and hopefully it's a fit and we can work together to launch your next business.